got? So this here is a CRUA hybrid hammock tent. And we're going to be doing our first overnighter with it. You guys might have seen this around the old YouTube because CRUA, they make insulated tents, either like standalones where you can fill up the air baffles in the insulated part and use it just under a tarp as standalone, or you can put it inside of different model tents. And I do have the insulation, but you know, we really won't get to use that until fall and winter rolls back around. But I am just nipping at the heels. I cannot wait to try out the insulated tent attachment that goes with this setup. But it has rained some today, and there is a chance of rain for the next 3 days. So I want to go ahead and get the tent set up with the rain fly on it. We're going to position it in a way to where we're going to just see how the rain fly handles the rain. And then I've brought a new military tarp, an ORC, Orc Industries field tarp with me that we're going to set up to have to chill out under. Oh, and I don't know if y'all can hear that faint noise sound, really echoes in the mountains, but they are mowing along the sides of the Blue Ridge Parkway because this section of mountain adjoins the Blue Ridge Parkway. But that shouldn't take too long. You might not even be able to hear it. But this is the poles for the tent body, but then you have these more sturdy spreader bars. The longest one goes up here at the head end. It's just got these little pockets that the spreader bars will slide into. Oh, but first things first, you want to run it through the sleeve. So I have set this up in the backyard the first time just to air it out, get that manufacturing smell out of it. And it's not as complicated as it may first kind of come out and appear to be. The nice thing about this is if you're in an area where you end up not having any ideal tree hanging positions, you could just set this up on the ground as a tent, as like a bivy tent. Because CRUA, like these materials that this stuff is made out of is just incredibly high quality. This is not like a paid promotion or anything, but you guys know I love sharing and testing out new gear with y'all, so that is what we are doing here today. Okay, then you got a medium girth bar, and that is actually your spreader bar, which would come in really handy if you're using this on the ground, but it's also nice to install it when you're using it in the hammock fashion. So here's a large loop, here is your smaller loop, and I think it's just a lot easier to install these while the hammock is on the ground. But we got a sleeve here, a square that's rounded off more or less. Getting it to feed through some of the tight corners, a bit of a challenge because it wants to stab into the material and sometimes separate. So that's why, you know, if you go with one of these and you plan on taking it out somewhere, make sure you practice the setup at home first. And then it's just got, like any other tent, the grommets here on the corners that like the nipple end of your pole sticks into. And it is a pretty firm fit, so don't stress about putting too much stress on that whenever you're trying to insert it. Sweet. Obviously this is not a review video. I just wanted to walk you guys through the process of setting this thing up, but we might look at it in closer detail in a dedicated video on down the road. Just in a bit of a hurry, but there's two more of these grommets where your spreader bar goes, and that already gives you a rough idea of the shape of this. Comes with some nice hammock straps. There we go. Don't worry about this where it's flipped over. I will show you how to resolve that here in 1 second. Alrighty, so it is starting to sprinkle a bit. Let's hurry and get this on there. And even the rainfly has this nice reflective material, so this is for sure, in my opinion, a 4-season hammock and tent, just based off the rigidity and the fact that you can put some insulation in it. And yeah, to make this easier, I just like to buckle the corners in first, and then it's easier to throw it over to one side. I would love to get you guys some closer up shots of this paint. I don't know what the weather's doing right now. And there is the rain coming in. And there is our CRUA hammock tent set up and ready to rock and roll. Now we just got to get our other tarp up. I brought an ORC poncho with me, but right now, since it's just going to probably be a quick shower, I'm going to throw on my Arctic smock because the DWR coating on it is very good. I brought it out too because it's going to get down cooler tonight, so this is just a nice thin utilitarian type of jacket to bring. Plus we can unzip the underarms for ventilation. Good to go. It's a brand new military field tarp, reversible tarp. These are very well known in the surplus community. I've got a USMC Marpat one, but it was surplus, like it was used, and it has some tiny holes and stuff in it. I still have it and use it, so I haven't had time to repair all the holes. But this is a brand new one from ORC Industries. It's the digital, like universal camo with the light side. They didn't have, I wanted one with the foliage green underside instead of tan, but they was out. But these are nice because they're flame retardant and they're just really tough. Brought out, brought out a bunch of my roller cam rope rollers with me to make setting this up quick and easy. And these have this like heavy elastic shock cord already tied at the grommets to get it some flex and stuff for the wind. Goes here. let's get a little lighter ambiance going. This thing was a pain to have to carry in by hand. It's not super heavy, but just getting it through brush and weeds. I have a smaller black oil lamp, kerosene lamp, and I filled it up with stuff and was going to bring it, but somewhere around the base, the soldering or whatever it is they use to seal it, there's a hole, like a pinhole or something, somewhere a crack, and it was leaking everywhere, so went with the medium-sized one. And then I even have a larger one, but it's definitely too big unless you're bringing a four-wheeler or something. Shed some light on the equation. So there we go, guys. The heavier rain has set in. We got very lucky with their timing. I feel like we got pretty lucky with their timing. Like the past 5 or 6 rain camps that we've done, you know, got the hammock tent set up just in time, and then it was starting to sprinkle as we put up our military tarp. But sitting under this, listening to it rain is nice as always. We got our oil lamp beside us to, you know, just help with the old wilderness ambiance. And yeah, not really sure how long it's going to last. It's like forecasted to rain and thunderstorm for the next like 3 or 4 days on and off. And every time you look at the weather radar, the direction of the storm pattern just changes like every 20-30 minutes, just based off the air currents and stuff. So just going to sit here, chill out. Might make a coffee here in a second. I brought my alcohol stove, but since this tarp is flame retardant, I don't really have any issue. I think if I set up a fire and then put my Apex Giant titanium thing to set my canteen cup on, will be fine, because like we really don't need a large fire, just enough to warm up some water. And then I brought an MRE with me today, and I think instead of using the MRE heater, I'm going to take and boil them in a mess tin, because it's a new one that I'm trying, and I think I might actually need to use the mess tin as a plate for this one, because like it'll be too messy trying to eat it the normal way. But yeah, Arctic smock done great. It's got pretty wet now. Like just starting to get a couple areas where my skin's pressing against it that are damp. But I mean, I can take this off and let it dry out. But that was only after it started coming down pretty heavy. So the Arctic stuff, highly recommend. And ever since I found out about Greek lizard camo, if you live in the eastern woodlands, I would give Greek lizard camo a try ASAP. So. I've got my surplus military mat in here. The one that I got from old Misty Mountain Supply up in Canada. Looks like there is no water droplets. Any little bit of water you see on the mat was just from outside, but I just wanted something thin and easy, and since this has a bit of a lay flat design anyways, I thought this pad would be more than enough for us for tonight. Alrighty, so got the fire going. The MRE that we're going to be having is menu 19, beef patty, jalapeno pepper jack. I may or may not have had this one. And this right here is the Apex Giant stove / grill. Which actually, I think this is the spot that we used it for the first time. Oh, how history repeats itself. But yeah, super quick and easy to get there. So we'll put this over the fire and then we'll just have a nice surface to set our mess tin on. I've got my lantern to have around camp, but I brought this Geordie light out again. I can't remember, it's been 2 or 3 videos, well, probably 2 videos ago, but this is a very, very high-tech and interesting light. There's almost too many things to talk about it at once without having a dedicated video, but I've got this thing set to red light because that's probably what I'll use around camp the most. But this thing just has so many different functions. So we also got this around camp to be our lantern, and we can hang it from this carabiner attachment. This thing's got a bike attachment. It's magnetic. I'm not trying to sell it to you. This is just something I haven't seen on the market before, and for those of you that are really into gear, especially the technological gear, I'll have this link below so you guys can go to the website and kind of see what it's about. On the edge of our tarp, and it can act as a lantern that way, or if I didn't even have that clip where it's magnetic, it works in that fashion. So just thought it was pretty nifty. Okay, so our 2 main items that we need to warm up is the beef patty with the pepper jack, and then gratin potatoes. So I'm just going to put these in here like that. Cover them with water. That's balanced on there. got a nice steady rain come back around for us. That's definitely good and boiling. I'm gonna lay these out on ash and stuff. This is the microfiber towel that I keep to as part of the cleaning kit, and to put this stuff in our mess. This stuff is super hot. This just seemed like something that really would be so much easier to eat this way. And where it's raining, I'll take this pan and hang it up in a tree in a way after I wipe it out a bit, and then let it get rained in. That way I got to use any more water. So it looks like we got some cheesy potatoes. So that's kind of like what the main meal is looking like. So yeah, we got barbecue sauce, fat-free mayonnaise, and a cheese spread with bacon. Should have stuck the cheese spread in the thing with the can, but it's really warm, so just the food alone should get it where it needs to be. And then why not add the barbecue sauce as well. Then I'll just take bites of the tortilla with it as I eat it. Oh, so if you guys can see me, we'll give this a try. That, my friends, is not bad at all. I would probably skip the barbecue sauce, but it doesn't hurt this really at all. It's got all that cheese on it. Dang. Yeah, them cheesy potatoes with that extra cheese is phenomenal. I'm glad I did the mesh tin. And then we got dessert number one, which is oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. Doesn't look too shabby. Good chocolate chip cookie. We are in the tent, and I had forgot that I brought my Night Eyes glow line. As far as what you guys can see, it doesn't really seem to light things up too much, but I can get a picture that shows it a lot better, and I'll put that on the screen now. Yeah, I took and had to go ahead and crawl in. It was raining kind of hard, so I didn't want to have to deal with setting the camera up to get the inside shot and then hopping back in here. But got my smock, my pants, all that stuff down there at the foot end. Got my pillow. This is a Zero Foxtrot Wooby in frog skin camo. I'm a little moist. It is a bit humid as well, but man, this hammock is just so wide and spacious. Like, you probably can't tell from the outside, just having a thin foam mat like this, I actually kind of need to shift it a bit. There we go. For this time of year, it's just fine. I feel like it would even do pretty good for convection when it's a wee bit cooler. But we'll have to try that out at a later date. So yeah, guys, I'm really happy with it. Absolutely no water got in, and you know, it's been what, 6 hours, 7 hours of pretty much total in rain total. It's rained for about 6 or 7 hours on it, just with a small gap there. And I guess it's going to kind of do this throughout the night, so we'll see how it goes. But it's just so comfortable, man. Like, between the comfortability of this and listening to the rain on the outside of the rainfly, I'm going to be nodding off in no time. So with that said, I will talk to you guys in the morning with an update and how everything turned out. So till then, good night. Well, good morning, guys. How's it going? Took and slept in a decent bit today because this setup right here gets a solid 10 out of 10. This thin USMC mat, I think, actually works better than that thicker, you know, egg carton style one that I have. Probably, and then would work just as good as that blue one with the silver reflective stuff. I just knew that I really didn't need any of the I didn't need the one with the reflective material because, you know, staying really is just about staying cool in this setup. You know, you could always guy out these the rainfly itself and keep these side vents open, which if I use it again I would, and I would still kind of have my tarp overlapping the hammock just for the overall kind of garage space, canopy space. But I wanted to let the rainfly, give the rainfly a test, and just other than a small bit of condensation in here from the humidity and me keep having this thing fully closed up, you know, no rain, no leaking, and really, I mean, I kind of expect there to be a little bit more condensation with a fully enclosed setup, but it wasn't bad at all. So, I mean, this thing gets 2 thumbs up from me. I mean, pretty much anywhere I go, I can find a place to straighten up a hammock, but there's a part of me that wants to put this on the ground and just kind of see the difference, because, like, you know, you can probably see, you know, there's a bit of material bowed down, so when you have this pitched out, there's going to be probably a slight bit of excess material on the ground. So, like, I would just kind of like to see how it is staked out. But yeah, I mean, this would, and that would actually that would take away a bit of the space that you have, because, you know, my hips, my legs, everything but my shoulder and my head is below the, I guess, I mean, I would call it like the baseline of the hammock. It essentially kind of becomes the midline, so you have more, like, area to move around. But that's neither here nor there. I just thought I'd point that out. So yeah, here's another good one. I've heard a little bit of thunder. There's forecast to be some scattered showers today, so I'll probably need to get packed up and get out of here before we get hit with one of those. But as always, I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Share the channel and videos with your friends, family, anybody enjoys good old outdoor activities and gear. If you're interested in any of the gear, you find any of the gear I've used interesting, and it seems like it might be something you want to research or add to your collection, I try to always link to the gear that I use in my videos down in the video description. And other than that, just be sure to hit me up in the comment section. Guides, thoughts, opinions, questions, gear recommendations, just whatever you feel like typing out. And until the next one, guys, adios.